Coming up, it's the outcome one Sioux Falls athlete was hoping for. We have an update on the stolen prosthetic.
Plus, the Avera race against cancer is this weekend. How one cancer survivor is running for her family. Good morning. This is KELOLAND on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
South Dakota's public universities are getting ready to lift a mask mandate. The Board of Regents announced that masks will be optional on campus starting on Monday. This will be for both indoor and outdoor environments. The move is to allow the state system to return to normal campus operations this fall.
The executive director says administrators will continue to monitor conditions. While all universities are making masks optional, campuses are making individual decisions on when and where to require social distancing and masks for specific buildings. Good Samaritan Society Sioux Falls Center is making some changes to its COVID-19 guidelines.
Now residents who are fully vaccinated are able to meet for various activities, including devotions, without a mask or social distancing.
Being together in fellowship is such an important part of faith and, community.
Chaplain Chris Kringen says the best part of the new guidelines is being able to interact again with residents who are happy to be alongside each other to worship once again. Fire season is upon us, and it's not looking good according to local and state fire officials. With warm temperatures and lack of moisture, one ignition could quickly cause a wildfire.
Drought conditions are also spreading across the country, limiting resources if a major fire happens. That's why it's important for everyone to take proper precautions.
If you're doing any outdoor burning, just make sure that you have a water source nearby. Don't park in tall grass. Make sure the bearings on your trailers are in working order. Make sure you're not dragging chains down the road. I mean, there's just the simple things I think that we can all look at and take part in to ensure that we're not starting any fires on the landscape.
You can also prepare your home in case a wildfire is near. We've included links for that on KELOLAND.com.
Turning to weather, cooler temps are sticking around KELOLAND this week.
Let's see how cool they could get with meteorologist Scott Munt. Good morning, Scott.
Well, good morning, you two. Good morning, everybody. Remaining below average probably for the next couple of days. We'll try to change that by Friday. Friday is looking like the warmest day we have going in that 7-day forecast. Otherwise, we have a couple of morning showers in the eastern KELOLAND, many locations less than 1/10 of an inch. Cool for this weekend, as well as the rain chances we have going, especially on Saturday. And I'll have more details on the KELOLAND live Doppler forecast coming up.
Thanks, Scott. In June 2018, Janelle Jampgart was diagnosed with lung cancer, but this isn't her only run-in with the disease. She says several members of her family on her dad's side have either had breast cancer or cancer-type diseases, including her father.
She says with her illness, she didn't have to go through chemotherapy.
I am fortunate that I was fairly lucky in my disease that I was able to do immunotherapy, so I didn't have to go through the chemo and suffer with all the sickness that went on with chemo.
Due to her cancer, she's unable to run, so she's walking in the Avera race against cancer this weekend.
The race is Saturday, but you do have the option to participate Sunday and Monday as well. If you'd like to sign up, just visit this story right here on KELOLAND.com.
The Augustana baseball pitcher who had his backpack stolen earlier this week, along with his prosthetic arm and attachments, wants to thank the community for all they did. After our story aired, someone returned his backpack Monday night with all his personal belongings except his prosthetic arm.
After the baseball season is over, Hansen says they might set up a GoFundMe to replace his prosthetic arm that's still missing. Any extra money he hopes to donate to the Shriners Hospital, the same place he got his arm. In one East Side Sioux Falls neighborhood, a robin and his mate are creating quite the stir. The robin stands out because it's almost all white. It's not an albino, but it is a genetic condition called leucism. It causes the loss of pigment in the bird's feathers.
Dennis Wiley noticed the bird about 2 weeks ago and has built up a bit of trust. The robins chase other birds when they get too close to his mate, but he seems to tolerate Wiley. He says people have been stopping by his yard to see the rare bird.
And that's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Scott Munt. Scott?
All right, good morning, everybody. We continue to follow this area of low pressure that's moving across KELOLAND for today, giving us these morning showers in eastern South Dakota, and it's keeping these temperatures well below average. In fact, numbers only in the 40s for Brookings and for Watertown today. We'll try to warm it a little tomorrow. And then by Friday may end up being the warmest day we do have going in that 7-day forecast, trying to return to the lower 70s in the western and central South Dakota. Right now, I'm not ready to go 70 in eastern or southeastern KELOLAND, but I think we'll do with the middle 60s. And then as we get into the first half of the weekend, we'll watch rain develop in the central and western South Dakota. Could have a couple of thunder showers along with it that day. Now, for this morning, things should remain fairly light. Many locations coming in at less than a tenth of an inch. And then as we hit the weekend, those numbers will get ramped up in central and western South Dakota, where we could have a couple of areas approach an inch. So there's a look at things for the first half of the weekend with a pretty good rain chance there in the central and south central South Dakota. Forecast today showing temperatures in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. And you could check the 7-day forecast while you're here online. Cool temperatures with rain for this weekend. Have a good day.